Yeah. Make a wish. Make a wish. Yeah, yeah. Make a wish. I'm certain that I dreamt you. Overnight suspenses, leaving me defenseless. All these late nights, lost in my emotion, searching for devotion, someone I could laugh with out loud, and love amidst the empty space of my heart. I could leave with no doubt. I feel invincible when we create this art, baby. I'm just a shooting star. The way you pull me, the fall don't seem so far. These eyes fixed upon a vision. You are all I'm missing. Someone I could laugh with out loud. Yeah, and love amidst the empty space of my heart. I could leave with no doubt. I feel invincible when we create this art, baby. I'm just a shooting star. The way you pull me, the fall don't seem so far. Your love's gravity, constant collision, caught up, compelled, and die. Long as it's you, just as long as it's you. As I take a deep breath, it's time to let go and close my eyes. What am I waiting for? Here I go. I'm just a shooting star. The way you pull me, the fall don't seem so far. Your love's gravity. I'm just a shooting star. Your love is calling me. Here I come. The fall don't seem so far. Your love is gravity.
Good morning, y'all. I feel like getting into one more before we start the show. Y'all will see, right? Let's go.
Niggas getting trampled on. What's all the fuss about? Sucking my dick so hard, I'm busting in their mouth, and then I stuff them out. Fold to the mid, fuck what I did. With no regard for a bid, wet you up while you with your kids. Slid into the shadows, cause I'm dark like that. I bark like that. Jet black, but I spark like that. But are they at when I get thirsty? Shit. Ain't a nigga strong enough to stand the worst it gets. Bits and pieces are all that's left. Niggas so scared to death, they hold their motherfucking breath till I pass. Cause they ask and I smell them. S-P-E-L-L-E-D-T-H-E-M, I spelled them. They make me have to swell one. I lump up one head, catch a body with the shotty, pump up one dead. Red alert, niggas is about to get hurt. You work the skirt like a jag on the murk. Nighttime is the right time for creeping. Vandalize your crib, rape your wife while she's sleeping. I've been off the deep end since I was seeming. That's why now I'm such a motherfucking demon. Screaming my bloody head off. Shit on my mind, I got to get off. Can't even hold the joint, that's a let off. A couple of rounds from the big 3 pound 7. That's about 1100 as of now. How can one man kill so many innocent people before the age of 20? Life ain't worth a penny in my book, faggot. That's why I took faggot shit. I'm a crook faggot, fat new leather jacket. I bag it along with the jewels, smacking tools out the hands of fools on the strength that they don't know what they holding. Niggas call me Taylor, cause the way that I be sewing. Shut up, cause I get up off my ass and skate, making more moves than you haul from state to state. I beat the great, and if a nigga tells you different, you turn around, you ask a nigga, fuck is you been sniffing? Cause when it come to ripping, I am the riff raff. Ain't got to say nothing, niggas know to give half. Motherfucker, Bump Flex, Volume 3, the final chapter. Rough Riders, Irv Gotti, Def Jam, right here.
Rolling with the headset notes, the real stand up now.
Yo, this life can't call it fair. People say I'm sorta rare, cause I'm a real man who be combing his daughter hair. Extraordinaire, causing all of y'all to stare. Can't say, Lord, you run this town like you're the mayor. Do what I know, mind to it, the flow. While you losing your hoe, I'm fucked up like booze in a dro. They boo at your show, and shoot at your toe. But it's bullets, not tomatoes that they use in the dough. Oh, yo, I stampede, watch the champ bleed while you can't bleed. And struggle to catch a fire like damp weed. These dudes is trash, so I gotta rap. And on the beat, I got more class than a college cat. You won't boss and free if you're not fam, I won't holler back. But if I said I'll do you a favor, I'm gonna honor that. I keep my word, cause without it, I am not shit. Rap without me is like the tribe, and they don't got tip. I'm in the cockpit, you stop quick, cause I'm the top pick. And the reason why you hanging off hip-hop's dick. I get hotter than sand, no one's stopping my plan. Rocking the fan, cause a girl likes a confident man. And I'm so sure of me that it intimidate. Cause I'm kicking ass, you in the grass like a killer snake. I'm what you consider great, cause the pictures I illustrate. I bust raw without a Trojan like Virginia State. I'll teach you what a poet is, to do this law. And I love music more than Jamie Foxx in the soloist. When I kick, yo, you lose your mind like a schizo. My sick flow, I won't stop till every bitch know. More or less for the conscious and the moralist. I don't give a fuck as long as they know the Lord the best. You better stick to the right wing, this is my thing, a side king. And there's nobody like him.
Let's hold on, it's been so long, but like this old song, black belt one to grow on. Go long cause I throw strong, I put pros on, show them where they go wrong. True MCs, you MCs ain't cooler than me. I don't care what you do in the streets, I'm confusing. What I'm using is heat. A lot of these niggas is booty and weak now. I talk more sense when I freestyle. Anything I do, it's gonna be wild. No need to be grimy, dope. Skittersaw reminiscent of a 90s group. So you can understand why he the true fan. Got chicks thirsty that might need a juice. Hip-hop's in my soul. Breakfast time in the morning, it's in my bowl. You never take my spotlight or steal my shows. I'm so cold I can't feel my toes. It's the underground veteran, come around leveling everything. If you don't let him in, Slammer's a raw man. And when I hold the mic, it's like the hammers in Thor's hand. I'm not a tall man, about 5'7", but when I spit I can be heard in the high heavens. I ride reppin' whoever rep me and walk by who never check me. I'm here to wreck beats, old or new. Talk slick round me and I fold your crew. You local, I'm global, hip-hop mogul. I want a chick with an ass like Nia Long and soul food. Ranking myself in the top 5. You not fly, plus you chicken like Popeye. I'm here to speak truth and stop lies, so you don't get shit crossed like cock eyes. I got style, as you see, and don't give a fuck about the crabs who beat.
Yeah, good morning. It's the Cymarshall Law Show. I'd like to welcome y'all to another show, number 59. We're at 59, crazy. September is gonna be when my album's dropping. So we have about 6-7 months before we get to what I've been creating behind the scenes for you. But before that, let's just stick with today. April 5th, 2021. I hope y'all had a good weekend. We're going to have a great show today. We're going to catch up with my boy Lyle Omolayo. We're going to talk about, today's topic is going to be, it's not over till it's over, and we'll get into that momentarily. But I do want to start with the morning prayers. You know how we do every morning. I want to make sure y'all start your Mondays right. I want to make sure I start my Monday right. So pray with me, y'all. Universal Gods, God, Great Architect, Jah, Cosmic Intelligence, the Most High. Thank you for allowing us to wake up today. Thank you for allowing us to have peace in our hearts. Thank you for happiness. Thank you for love. Thank you for our health. Thank you for our healthy brains, our healthy hearts. Thank you for our healthy relationships. Thank you for second chances. Thank you for new opportunities. Thank you for our healthy lungs, our healthy livers, our healthy kidneys, our healthy pancreases, our healthy lifestyles. Thank you for today. Thank you for yesterday. And thank you for tomorrow. Thank you for every day. Thank you for blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings and more blessings. Thank you for our aunties. Thank you for our uncles. Thank you for our grandparents. Thank you for our ancestors. Thank you for the children. Thank you for the babies and all they teach us. Thank you for us having a great week. And thank you for us having a great weekend that just passed. We're going to have a good time this week because we're going to radiate with positive energy and good vibrations. And we thank you for that, God. We are blessed every day in every way. Thank you, God. Amen. Yeah. So, let's see here. Let me throw on an instrumental. Oh, I know what I want to play. I want to play Where Art Thou? Show and Finder. Oh, I don't have it. That sucks. Oh well, I'll go with this. Yeah. So, what made me think of calling today's show "It's Not Over Till It's Over" is that in totality, I feel like a lot of people my age are quitting doing the things that they love. And they're quitting doing these things because let me make sure that is turned up. They're quitting doing these things because they're following the laws of what life tells them is proper. Like when you're at a certain age, you should quit. And if you didn't make it to where you want to make it to, you should quit. Or another way I was thinking of it is today we're interviewing the brother Lyle. And I was supposed to interview him last week. I think last week, Friday. And he wasn't able to make it, unfortunately. And he was very apologetic about it. But I didn't take it to heart because I felt like the brother always has good intentions. And what I was trying to kind of say to him through text is that, yo, it's not over until it's over. We are guided by the universal laws. So in life, a lot of times, it seems like your last chance is over. It seems like there's no way you're going to succeed and get to the next level in things. But I personally have found that it's not over till it's over. It is not over till it's over. And as long as you have good intentions in your heart, and as long as you keep focused on the work, doing the good work, and you know what I'm saying, getting forward in life, making progress, I feel like you'll always have a chance to succeed. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give a big shout out to Lyle, who we're going to interview today, a very dope artist out in New Jersey. Well, we're certainly going to get into everything Lyle has to talk about. He should be joining just in a moment. I think he's going to be joining at like 6:15. But additionally, I wanted to say that I feel like we should keep shining no matter what. Like a lot of times we have like the worst days and we decide to dim our light because we've had a bad day, or we have a great day and we stop shining because it's like we see that things are going well. So instead of continuing to rise, we plateau because we're like, oh, we've gotten to a high place and there is no further to go. Well, let me tell you something. The universe is unlimited. So whatever you can imagine with your brain can actually happen in real life. You know what I'm saying? So I want you this week to focus on the bigger picture, the bigger dream. If there's something you used to want to do when you was like 8, 9, 10, and if you're like 38, 39, 40, whatever age you have, just know that it's still possible for you to come through on these things. Let's see here. Is that Lyle trying to join now? No, not yet. Let me send the invite to Broadway as well, just in case he wants to hop on. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Man.
The brother Lyle.
Come on,
Yo.
peace.
Peace, brother.
Yes.
Lyle Omolayo, thank you for coming through to the show this morning, bright and early.
Yes.
Got you up.
Morning
Yo.
coffee.
Yeah, you're not the only one. When I when I woke up this morning, I saw your text at 12:18, and I was like, Kyle better have taken his ass to bed.
Yeah. No, I made sure this time. Yo, keep the CL. Much respect due.
Word.
When we connect with you, you know?
Word. So let's just get into the interview. So first off, for the people that don't know you, just kind of let them know who you are, what you're about, what you represent.
Yes, sir. My name is Lyle Omolayo. I'm one half of the Negros Americanos crew, hailing from Plainfield, New Jersey. I'm an MC, illustrator, educator, you know? And that's the size of it, you know?
Dope. So I think the first time I met you was at a show in Court Tavern in New Brunswick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and
man.
ever since then, you've been showing a lot of love. I've always had a good energy about you, and I definitely take note to energy because it's my main communicator. A lot of people feel like I feel like personally a lot of words come to miscommunication, but I feel you. Like, I feel your energy. That's why when like you kind of missed the show, I can literally feel your energy. So I know you had good intentions. So
Yes,
it's
sir.
like energy, and I've always felt your energy. You've always been like that, and I always appreciate you. So when you feel good energies in your life, I always feel like you should hold on to them because they don't always come around. Anyhow, what is your first memory of art, Lyle?
Oh, man. Shit. That's a hard question, man. Finger painting. You know what I mean? Getting the hands dirty, you know? You know, dipping, I guess more that abstract expressionism type art where you're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks as a kid. The funness of being able to mix colors and just go ham, where sometimes it makes sense or it's orderly and sometimes it's not. I think that the chaos in it as a kid, I just like throwing paint at the wall, man, you know?
So did you love it immediately? Like as soon as you started like messing with art, colors, and...
I modeled after my father, man.
Your father was an artist.
My father was an artist.
There is.
Yeah, it is. He's still alive. Visual artist. Yeah, I saw him doing it, man. I remember I used to see him painting as a kid, and that just sparked me. I wanted to paint just because I saw him doing it, you know?
Right.
And yeah, it's crazy too, because like he dipped when I was around 4 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was enough to, like, me seeing that, it was enough for me to model it and just continue. And I way longer than rapping, man. I've been drawing, bro.
So
real.
when you want to express your emotions, and my bad if I told you I might veer away from the interview questions a bit just based on our conversation. So as an artist, because you obviously an illustrator and an MC, when you want to express your emotions, do you find it easier to do that through your illustrations or through your, writing abilities?
I guess it depends on what it is, though. I guess it depends on what it is. So like certain stuff, I like drawing out and certain stuff rapping out. Like, all right, you know, some for example, rap relationship situations.
Mm-hmm.
I like drawing them. Like I drew like why not to take your girl to the show? You know, so she's like,
right.
When you go on and like you're an opening act and you're like, yo, like I'm here to like enjoy the show. You went on already. Like, like I like those types of stuff where I'm like, man, if I rap about it, I'll just sound like I'm complaining. But if I draw it, people, yo, oh wow, artists are humans too, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we try to enjoy ourselves too, and we go through our nuances. Like as we're in it, as rappers, sometimes if I draw about rap stuff, it's sometimes more clear. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I know exactly what you mean.
Rap about art stuff. I don't know.
Uh-huh. No, I understand. That makes a lot of sense to me, actually. Those are all your illustrations behind you, right? That's a dope background.
This is the world. This is the world, man. This is the
I
world.
love it.
This right here is me. That's Lyle.
Dope.
You see floating around. That's Omolayo and different incarnations of him, like in different.
Dope. So they all have different personalities, or?
Yeah, man. In different situations. So like this guy in the middle, that's just Omolayo, right? Mm-hmm. He's the same as this guy over here, right? The guy in the middle is the same as the guy over here. Now, right here with the claws, like looking like a Wolverine style.
Yeah.
That's when you separate Omo and Lyle, meaning like Omo, child, and Lyle to give joy, child of joy.
I was gonna ask you about that, so you answered it for me. Nice.
Yeah, Lyle means child of joy. And it was given to me by one of my coworkers at Hubbard Middle School in Plainfield. Mm-hmm. I just came into the teacher's lounge and she was like, Omolayo, you know.
I love it. I love it.
You know, and she threw that at me and it meant child of joy. And like ever since I just said, okay, I'm Lyle Omolayo.
I wonder if she felt your energy and decided that was it, because that's what I feel like you have a joyful energy, a bouncy, like a good energy. So I wonder
yo, she said that. She was like, yo, you bounce around the teacher's lounge. Yo, I didn't even know her. She just said, that's what I felt when I saw you was Omolayo. I said, well, my name's Lyle. She's like, well, Omolayo's your name. That's who you are.
Do you know? My bad. Go ahead.
Nah, she grabbed me like by my arm and stuff. Like when I was in the teacher's like it was like one of those moments, you know, where I'm like, oh snap, like that meant something. Like so I was like, yo, maybe I'm Omolayo, child of joy. She said the world might try to steal that from you. You're a child of joy. Know that's what your spirit is. And I just held on to it, yo.
The world will definitely steal that from you if you allow it to. Because I definitely, when I was younger, I probably had a bit more of a spark in my eye, to be honest. I probably had a bit more bounce. I was all over the place. But as I got into my 20s and life started to hit me, I started to go through some real shit. And then one day my mom said to me, she was like, Cymar, you become hard. And I was like, we were driving and I was like, what do you mean? And she was just like, yo, that child of joy thing you used to have, she was like, it's hardened. And since then, I've come back to me. But, life will whoop your ass. So I definitely understand being a child of joy and being able to hold on to that, because shit, life can be a bitch.
But with Pasta News, life can get all up in your ass.
Yeah, straight up and down. Straight up and down, like vertical. So, I wanted to speak about if the pandemic has had any effect on your artistry and your creative process at all.
Hell yeah, definitely.
How so?
Like man, we're confined to the home. You know, we're on quarantine. Mm-hmm. We're not interacting with as many people as much. And like with hip hop, man, that's such a big part of it. Like, especially for our era, I have to say this, man. I came up watching Cymarshall Law. Serious. I gotta give my flowers, man. I literally, when I first started going to shows, going to New Rican, going to Court Tavern, going to Lyrical Graffiti, Full Spectrum, all these different places, I was seeing like real MCs, cats who they touch the stage then they was at the merch table, you know what I mean? And they was selling shirts. And so like, I'm gonna say this, bro. College Ave, the first time I saw Silent Night and opening for Talib Kweli. And I knew about Talib Kweli from BET and Rap City.
Hey, I remember that show because I had a show that day and Silent Night was supposed to come with me, and he definitely dipped out and was like, I got an opportunity to open up for Kweli. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was like, okay, my bad to cut you off, but I definitely remember. So that's crazy. If he didn't skip out on me, you would have never seen him. So things work out.
He brought me to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Together, like,
so go continue on. My bad.
It was Silent Night and the Thought Breakers, man, on College Ave, and up to that point, I'd never seen Jersey MCs that could do that, like perform at that level. Where I'm not like, when's the headliner coming on? No, it was like the Thought Breakers came on, and I just remember one Zach Loss, his Kyle raps now, but it was Skeptic at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And, bro, this Phantom Menace album, they were going back and forth. And I just was like, the fuck? How is this possible? Like, how come nobody told me this was going on? And then he did he did his set, but then he did that acapella, the nursery rhyme acapella.
Right.
Story. And I'm like, bro, he told a compelling story using nursery rhymes that had everybody at the edge of their seat. And then Kweli came on and we was like, nah, where's fucking Silent Night? We want more Silent Night. So I hadn't seen cats with that power level that was in the underground and walking around, you know. And then later on, I'd met Silent Night at Full Spectrum, killed it. I remember I was broke. Whatever I paid to get in was what I had, you know. I remember it was when Hunger Strike came out, and I was like, yo, I need that shit. Like, I need Hunger Strike. So when I became a freshman in college, I went to Fat Beats in New York, got the Hunger Strike, and then on the Red Army Cypher joint, the Posse cut, I heard you on there, Black and Homie, right? Cymarshall Law, like Axel Foley. And ended your verse. First, you talked about Panthero, you know what I'm saying? I like Thundercats. And then you ended your verse talking about stepping on a neck like Bruce Lee and twisting. Like that type of lyricism and skill, style, I hadn't known existed in Jersey. It was like a whole new world, and it was in my backyard, and I felt like, damn, what the fuck? Like, how did I not know about this stuff? It was different. Internet was just becoming a thing in terms of like Napster, LimeWire, that stuff. You had to have CDs, man. You had to have them vinyls, them CDs, and tapes. They were like covered. So like having, you know, Hip Hop in the Flesh, having Hunger Strike, having Paradise Lost by Hassan Salam, having the Leak edition by John Robinson. These things were coveted. Like, yo, son, man, you don't know about this. And like being put on the new music, new underground acts, new artists. That shit was just, it was mind blowing. And then being able to go to the shows and see people, it just was a whole scene, man. Lyrical Graffiti, Nabil. I met so many guys at the New Brunswick scene. The Church Street, from the Old Bay to Court Tavern, and whatever else and beyond. Like, I'm gonna say, you, Silent Night, JR, John Robinson, Lil Cy, you guys were like my, y'all were the galvanizers, Nabil, you know, DJ Absurd. You guys were, I was coming to shows and boom, oh, Cymar's here. Okay, it's on. It's a real hip hop. You add validity to stuff. No, seriously. I have to say this, man, because I never thought I would be in this chair sitting this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, just like, so definitely has affected the art, because now there's this, you know. Do
you think that time will ever come back? Because I feel it was like there was an energy to that kind of time period. Do you think we'll ever get something like that back?
Something similar probably with the new generation. Like, they say stuff goes in cycles, you know, because it was very, I don't want to say it was anti, but it was like counterculture. If everything was gang, drugs, sex, and violence, I got to know people's real lives in their
you know,
like talking about taking care of their families, talking about real stories, talking about stuff that was opposed to that. I think, and there was a pride in that too. Like, yeah, we're authentic, we're real.
You know what I often wonder, like, the cats today that are like, set kind of in their 20s or just coming to be, with the music that is of today, do they have places like we had to hang out? Like you were talking about all those venues. Is there anything like that for them now? Because I feel like that's where a lot of us met up and kind of bonded. Yeah. But their music is a bit different than ours, so I don't even know if it would be the same vibe, but I feel like that's something they're missing out, unless I don't know about it. But do you know if there's anything?
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur, man. I feel disconnected.
You're not a dinosaur yet. I'm a dinosaur.
Our focus was on like lyrical capabilities, cleverness, wit. So that we could get love in the spoken word spots, and I'm guessing with them because it's so turn up. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe at the clubs. Maybe they're on teen night. You know.
I don't know if those trap guys do spoken word.
Yeah, I don't know if it hits hard to a cappella.
Right. I know without that beat, it might be a rap.
You wonder what those ciphers look like?
I know.
I mean, some of the stuff hits, some doesn't. I don't know. I'm curious, yo.
Me too.
That is true. They have maybe clubhouse cipher rooms.
That's my question. This is what I've been pondering. Like, if they got into like a cipher with some of our finest lyricists, would they like go in like their shit was hotter, or would they like shut up and back away? Because
you hear cats rapping over like classic golden era beats and not quite.
Yeah.
Like hear cats, Apostles Warning freestyle, but they're not quite Prodigy. You know, and it's like, it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think there's a reverence now for 90s hip hop, but I don't think there's the same reverence for the cleverness and wit that them cats down on those beats. So I might love Biggie and Juicy, but if you ain't with the lyrics, it's like
yeah, you should probably leave their beats alone.
Yeah.
Nah, I feel it. I remember back when I was first coming into my own, I had a mix CD, probably one you saw, one I pressed up on my own. I literally printed the shit out from my house and did the whole shit. And I gave it to a girl named Jenny Jive, and I seen her at another Harvest Moon show, and she was like, "Yo, Cymar, I didn't know you were that dope, this, that, and other, but I have one thing I didn't like. You on that Wu-Tang beat. You should probably leave the Wu-Tang beats." And I was like, well, fuck you, but I understand. Because I guess I probably didn't do the beat justice back then. I probably didn't have my style. I should probably revisit that. Anyhow.
You know what it is. When you do
I wasn't offended. I understood.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang. Woo.
And it is the woo.
Yeah, shout out to the woo. I actually skipped a question, so let me go back. When I hear music, I see colors, and I use those colors to paint my picture. When you draw, do you hear music?
I hear voices sometimes, yo. Legit, yeah, I hear sounds, yo.
I'm not surprised. I thought you might, but go ahead.
Like over my shoulder, that's the lizard up in the here, and I just hear. I hear obliteration, and I see Omolayo. I hear encouragement. You know what I mean? This way. I hear encouragement. Definitely. There's music in the art.
Right.
This shit it makes me happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Real talk. I draw a lot to DJ Spinner, yo.
Yeah.
Yo, real talk.
What about DJ Spinner's beats make you write?
I don't know. His shit's always on point, man. I don't know. Man. I became a super fan, and I'm sounding crazy, but the second Polyrhythm Addicts album got me like OD on DJ Spinner, because I don't know, man. I don't know if it's his riffs. I don't know if it's his loops.
Mm-hmm.
his shit's just nice. That's the type of production I like. DJ Spinner, Large Professor, that shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I often he has a mix he did of "Make Me Happy" by Cooley's Hotbox. Cooley's Hotbox, "Make Me Happy," and that freaking mix, bro. On any given night, I could be listening to that shit, drawing something. It just always pulls it out of me.
Man, if you can find a link to that, put it in the chat window so I could listen to it and listeners could know what you're talking about. Cause DJ Spinner is super dope. I just wanted to hear your perspective on it. That's dope. Shout out to Spinner and the polyrhythmatics, straight up and down. Super dope. What else did I want to ask you? So you entertain, educate, and empower. 3 words in your bio that stuck out to me. The 3 lanes of your music and what inspired each.
Okay, so first we say entertain, cause like we're MCs, we're here to put on a show. You know what I mean? Foremost, so it's got to be entertaining. That's like the most important first thing. Let's say education. I'm a teacher, you know, so it's a hat that I never take off. You know, and in hip hop, to me, the best MC is the teacher. It's KRS-One. He's the freaking pinnacle, the super pinnacle.
Right.
Of MCing. And then too, like, there was this singer. She used to perform all the time in New Brunswick. I met her through Silent Night. Danielle Watson, right? And she used to say this. She was like, yo, what would you do if the world stood still and everybody had your ear? Like everybody in the world, what would you say to them?
Wow.
That's the reason you make music. That's the reason you share your art. That's your thesis.
I love that.
We talk about that. I'm like, damn, like if I had everybody's ear, would I share some bullshit with them? What would I have? You know, so it has to be, I have to be dropping some form of jewel.
Right.
It's empowering. Hopefully you leave better than you came versus like, damn, you know, you want something that brings you up. Uppers, not downers.
Right. I get it.
So that's the main thing. And yo, I feel like because Black people are going through shit, have gone through shit, and that's the skin I'm in, that's the team I'm, born into, whatever the paradox I entered. It's more than just entertainment. Right. You know, if we were in a happier place, maybe false narratives about our community wouldn't hit so hard or wouldn't feel so offensive to me. Feel more of a responsibility to add on, to build, and to give something that is progressing our culture. Right. Because we're losing, we're dying, and it's real. We're not far detached from these stories. Like that's why it's of the highest importance to put forth positivity. Right. Definitely.
That is very dope. Yo, so you mentioned you're a teacher. What subject do you teach?
I teach English and I teach art. Right.
Awesome.
I taught in Plainfield, Elizabeth, and in Newark.
What ages are the kids that you teach? All over, or?
I've taught from kindergarten to high school and everything in between. My favorite group to teach probably is middle school because it's so much chaos, but also the most difficult. And which I'm not teaching right now, and I'm glad I'm not teaching right now. I have a break from them kids.
Why is it the most difficult though?
Oh man, because like puberty, man. Puberty, freaking, they're getting hit with everything, and even more so now than ever before. I think it has to be so difficult for the kids, especially with quarantine, social media. If I took my L's back in the day, I got jumped. It wasn't on Facebook though. I got my hits.
I see where you're going.
You could lose a fight today and perpetually every day you come to school, yo, son, yo.
Right.
Then they're sharing it, like, what you gonna do? And so they live with a degree of pressure. Right. With, social media, we didn't have. It's just, it's totally different. So I think the middle school, that's like where the twinkle in the eye starts to dim. That's where Anakin becomes a Sith. You know, depending on the exposure.
Either way, yeah.
Either way, yeah. I mean, it can happen anytime, whatever. But like, that's where you see like people, man, fuck school, or you see people, like, I want to go to college. It's
right.
That middle school experience is mad pivotal, because by the high school, some of them are like totally disengaged based on their experiences in middle school.
Yeah, and that's a fact, because I remember it like the back of my hand. So 9th grade, you're kind of there, but you're kind of scoping out the scene. Do you know how the biggest year I saw people change was from 9th to 10th grade? Straight up and down. It was very clear to me. Like, oh, y'all figured it out, who you wanted to be. And then from there, it was, damn, right now I have a 14-year-old in the house and a 13-year-old. So 8th and 7th grade. So I know exactly what you mean. They're both kind of going through this thing, and I'm just trying to make sure I can be the best dad I can be. But I don't have all the answers. That's why I wanted to know what your insight on that was. So that's pretty dope. So you have a speech you made called "Embracing Your Inner Urkel." It reminded me of a few things I said on 2 episodes ago. But please tell us what embracing your inner Urkel is about.
Yo, just being yourself, man. Full on being yourself, whether you're nerding the hell out or you're, doing whatever it is that makes you, like diving into that thing. It was a speech I did at NJCU for like the convocation, and that was an ill year, man. Cory Booker was on stage. Yeah. They had me in the robe and everything, and that was dope too, because I got that opportunity more so as an MC and speaker, because that was supposed to be for the president of student government, but there was no acting president. So they were like, man, Lyle likes to talk, get him. So and I was same deal. I was like on some Daniel Watson. What do I have to talk about? What am I going to share with the freshmen? And it was like, yo, don't fret, be yourself. Yeah, in high school, I ain't sell crack or play basketball. I was on the court.
Right.
Tennis court. There's difference.
Right.
Tennis ain't the most masculine sport. You know what I'm saying? So,
Stop it.
I'm just keeping it apart. I wasn't, okay, let me keep it in era. In 2004, 2000 to 2004, 50 Cent was out. Dipset was out. Beanie Siegel was out. Yeah. I remember 50 Cent had a freestyle. I was on the block. He was playing tennis. When that came out, tennis. I had my racket. I was like,
man. So I like tennis.
Yeah, man. So, my status wasn't hood. So that embracing your Urkel, embracing those things that make you. So whatever it is, if you like freaking mechanics and cars, or if you like poetry or cross, whatever those things are that you love, grab onto them, feel good about them. And I was saying this, and I feel this is the truth across the board. With picking up a Laura, you got a Myra. You're facing this Laura. There's a Myra that likes you for you. And whatever you do as a bro, as a man, as a person, I think if you're good at anything, regardless of what it is, whatever you like, if you're good at it and passionate about it, that shit's gonna shine, and you're gonna attract whoever respects that or likes that. And I'm like, oh, wow, he's good at fixing cars, or oh wow, he plays the sax pretty good. I like him. Or wow, he's a great photographer.
That's super dope. And I hope that the listeners took heed to everything you said. That's a very, very positive message and a very needed message. So I want to get into a couple songs and then come back to the interview. So every day we have a song of the day, and I did have a song of the day, but based on what you said, I wanted to change the song of the day. And then after I play the song of the day, I want to get into one of your joints that I appreciate. So stick with me, y'all. We got Lyle Omolayo. My name is Cymarshall Law Show, episode 59. It's not over until it's over. Song of the day, Silent Night, Red Army Movement. Let's go.
That's my shit.
Red Army's in the building. Yeah, let's get into it, man. PH, where you at?
Featuring Cymarshall Law, Arch Rival,
Check.
Jason.
Yeah. Yo, yeah. And yo, the bells rang for war, shells, tanks, and all. Neck snapping off like his headbangers ball. Frail rappers bail after Red Army storms. Ain't no red rags involved, but my set bang for sure. Respect that, a step back, you slept bad for y'all. Must have had your head wrapped in the med band and gauze. I left half your brain in the med laboratory. Stuck on BS like US at its core. These pet amateurs think they rep, not at all. You ain't sunning nothing the best, you stepdads get lost. False, phony, fraud, carbon copies. Need to get off the source, get a job or a hobby. Better not be thinking you so sincere. And the first time you ever rocked the show was this year. At least get your weight up, keep sharpening your skills. Cause for real, there's a million other artists in the field. Got me feeling how I felt back before the mean buzz. When I ain't even know what a 16 was. I just black for anybody I could rap to. Any cipher mic they had, it was bad news. Not as Admiral is glad to will spat news. A pack room, the cats knew the duck shrapnel when you can't move. And that's cool, I'ma leave it at that. Take a seat and relax, let the team eat the trap.
I'm black and homie, spitting fast or rapping slowly. Either way, it's a martial law like Axel Foley. Hightower, Jones, Tackleberry, and Mahoney. Jersey Flame, married to the game, unholy matrimony. I'm the real thing, but most of these rappers phony. If you get a little fame, they gon' act like your homie. But I ain't no clown, I never did like the circus. You wanna throw down, but all you gotta whack verses that are worse than the Ku Klux Klan burning black churches. You worthless, I'm priceless, I'm Jersey's finest. Call me your highness, fist up like I'm the fucking champ. And I ride a track like Panther in the Thunder Tank. I'm spitting bare flame, hip-hop is fair game. I'm coming up like the wheels under an airplane. Some martial law, who me getting my respect? Cause my flow's crack like Bruce Lee stepping on a neck.
Shit, I don't mean to be rude, but I thought I told you before. Stupid, ain't no other thought. Grab a battle with the metaphor. Since a fucking animal, the least is dragging on the floor. They unleash the savage that'll damage all. Bash you through your door with cannons and the sword. Yelling if you're man at all, then man up and take a fall. I expedite your jaw from your face to the fucking ground. Oh, you feel me now? For the thunder sound as the army marches through your town. It's the Red Rebellion, we taking hellions and smacking the ever-living gentleman out of every dem. I'm a sick man, damn, I'm so sick with it. My wit is sick, never get mad, get livid. The best position to be is next to us, cause once the dust settles, be prepared for the exodus. Exit the front, enter the back of the black hearse. Parked in the back of the spot where you spat that whack verse. Lyrics and bars are lyrics and bars, but the shit we hitting with is definite hard strikes to your squad. I'm about to sound the alarm, be prepared for the dawn of the red. The army is here, dog, enough said.
I put my fist 2 feet through your weak flesh and leave with my arm red. Why after arm, my army red? You like text, man. Why arm my army with bombs and artillery? Charge your offices, mar your squad and set harm your soft cadets, slaughter officers. That's how Red Army do. Arch rivals not run of the mill, but one of the ill cut. You fucks in the grill from forgetting that I'm lyrically too nuts, physically $2, both plus powerful enough to tip your tour bus. With arm strength from arm's length, you aren't I, so I try. My victories are flawless, I do not lie. Disrespecting, I promise. I comprise my regiment of the smartest. Albert Einstein, show you what a savant is. I can't tie my shoes, but the flows are retarded.
Yeah. Red Army, not the cast to sleep on. Bring light to anything we breathe on. Lyricism in its supreme form. You bringing nothing to the table, then be gone. Red Army, not the cast to sleep on. Bring light to anything we breathe on.
Yo, I forgot who I was. You know a nigga traumatized. Before I was made into a nigga, yo, what was I? I look into the skies and analyze the stars, constellations, relating to the atoms on Earth, cross turf. Foreigners came who crossed first. Thoughts of supremacy, now you lost worth, lost worth. The religion say my people are cursed. We in need of some assistance, they commission your hearse. Profit is first, freedom is last. Think not. They building up a prison for that ass. A decision from a council of nations at the Berlin Conference. Plans of invading, dividing up nations for rape and the pillaging. Men, women, and children in the villages. They regard that shit as a holy pilgrimage. Church killing shit. And the Vatican benefits.
Lyle Omolayo, let's go.
Can't really pretend that I know, but I'm skeptical cause history goes. Warp messages, books written by sex predators. And we are like apes to the editors. But they remember us.
Never forget.
Yeah,
Don't you remember?
Think back. Check it. Yo, I put some parliament, the capital steps, yeah, and all of it, leaking out the Constitution and every document. I take a shit in the mouth of the Speaker of the House. Now hog tied on the couch, held for ransom. Blackface rapping, Ted dancing, the open palm smack. Behold the avalanches, Comanche helicopters, drop from witch doctors, rearranged, and they didn't use a chopper. It's spiritual. Fight with Juju, but not like Killer Cam, more Desmond Tutu. Ganga, Zumba, Jawanza, Kanjufu. A skateboarding kid from the Shy name was Sulu.
Let's go.
Seeing Hutu. Linked up with some Zulus. Now I rock Kanai and Fufu. My side girl is shooter. I'm Joey, but a Fuko. My rise as a ruler. Spitting so that you know. Lyle Omolayo. Out for respect shit. Eureka than the hexes for my exes. Gave away the necklace. In the stomach like tetanus. 4 lines completed. Yo, Tetris. Think back, but they remember, right?
Don't you remember?
Think back, think back.
Don't you remember? Don't you remember?
Hey. Salute.
Peace. We are back. We are back with the boy Lyle Omolayo.
Respect.
Yo, that last joint was your joint we played. It's called Do You Remember? Tell us a little bit about what made you write that joint and about the joint.
Yo, man, just Do You Remember is a rap version of 20 Feet Tall by Erykah Badu. You know, like it's the rap version of on the Richard Pryor show when he went to Kemet and was like, oh shit, the Black Gods made this? Wait till
Word up.
It's like, yo, if we remember who we really are, we won't accept any of these inferiority complexes, stories that we can't build things, reinvent things, make shit fly, cure anything.
Right.
It's connecting us to the timeline of human history, you know, like it's just going back, you know. I used to watch my whole way of ninja, yo, is like I watch 60 Minutes Saturday Night Live. Then the next morning I watch Like It Is, you know. So I got my information, my comedy, and then the next morning I got that Black empowerment information, and that's what that is, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm being funny, you know, I piss on Parliament, the Capitol steps, and all of it. But
yeah, I like that line.
Talking about some real shit, like, yo, you know, I said, you know, Twisted Messages, you know, books written by sex predators. You know what I mean?
Yep. Dope.
You know, so touching on those things, man. Knowing our prominence, knowing our worth.
Was that a single joint or was it off a project?
You know what? I put it out as a single kind of, but it's off of Kiss My Black Ass, the mixtape.
Okay.
It's a project I put out last year in quarantine, actually. I put it out last year on my birthday, 2020, and I divided it into two butt cheeks. So it's like because some tape.
I did see that.
Side A, side B, right? Left cheek, right. You know, so that's I just, instead of side A, side B, I called it.
I like it. Creative.
But yeah, just two, because like, yo, right now everything is, yo, I got this 1 minute song. Yo, I got this 30-second single. The attention span is like condensed. And right now I'm like, yo, you know what? I know I'm not your quick nut. You know what I mean? There's tons of rappers that you can get that off. Maybe on a magazine, you know, on a novel, whatever. So for who feel like listening to 15 minutes of music on a track, it's different tracks. There's some gems in there. Maybe it's your type, you know. I'm just trying to find my niche crowd, yo. I'm telling you, seeing you, seeing John Robinson, seeing Silent Night, seeing Venomous, seeing Hassan Salam, seeing, you know, CF, seeing Ty Phoenix, seeing all these MCs. I'm Elder Sensei, seeing, you know, all you brothers and sisters. you guys have shown me it's possible. You can go to your tribe. I've been fortunate enough to have had folks who have modeled the path. Like, yo, everybody don't gotta rock with it, but those people that rock with it, rock with them, you know?
Yeah.
The soul rockers, man. Freaking, I learned from Fuse, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I can dig it. I dig it.
You know,
So-
like, yeah.
So speaking about your tribe, your group Negros Americanos formed in Panama.
Yes,
how
sir.
did that come about, and like why Panama?
Panama, right? Yeah. So originally, me and Jordan both from Plainfield. He's from Newark originally. They moved to Plainfield.
Okay.
But Plainfield, and then we wanted to. At the time, we were looking to form something similar to like the Fugees,
Right.
that can speak to the diaspora.
Right.
But what we wanted to do was include members throughout the diaspora. So I was, at the time, I finished undergrad and I was working at Yale University as an organizer, as a union organizer. And then Jordan was getting out of school, and I had known some people that were cool with the Zapatistas in Mexico. So originally, Negros Americanos was going to form in Chiapas.
Oh, word?
Originally, yeah. And yo,
That's crazy.
But it would have gone a total different way. But I'm glad because we might not have made it back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People, training out in Chiapas, the freaking U.S. authorities, as soon as we came back, would have been like, nah, what are y'all up to? Like,
right.
Nah.
Yeah. Cut all that out.
We'd have been in Guantanamo, bro. Probably like that's some crazy shit to even think about. But we knew some Panamanians in Plainfield. Jordan did, and he connected us with the family in Panama and said, yo, let's try here. There are more black people. If we don't say anything, we could look Panamanian. And the chances of survival are much higher. Even though it's still volatile state, it's not on the same level and for different reasons as that part of Mexico. So we chose Panama, and it's a beautiful, beautiful country, man. And the Jamaican influence, gotta say, the Jamaican influence, again, like it all comes back around, right? In Panama is ill on a music level and on a cultural level. Panamanian Spanish is Spanish with a Jamaican accent.
I would love to hear a full song with that twang. That shit sounds dope.
El General is lauded as the father of reggaeton. And he's Jamaican ancestry, Panamanian. Everybody's grandma, abuela, is from Jamaica in Panama, in a spot called Rio Bajo or Colon.
Right.
They built the canal. They had Jamaicans come in, Bajans, Indians from India, and then Chinese to build this canal. And the Jamaican influence, first off of reggae music, of Rastafari, is super, super powerful in Panama. Like, I'm gonna say this, man, I got locked up in Panama. They put me in jail for one day, just for one day. But my time in there was okay because they thought I was Jamaican. It was not until they found out I was from the United States that
it was too late. It was like,
yo, I was faking in the jail, bro. I was not. First off, United States, yo, I was trying, bro. I was trying. I felt like Dave Chappelle on Half Baked when he was like, by the beach.
He was like, lot of mercy.
Bro, they put me in the cells, like 10 dudes in there. They all turned looking at me and shit. I used to wear and yo, on Do You Remember? Cheaper than a necklace. Gave away, you're weaker than the hexes from my exes. Gave away the necklace. I gave away that necklace because I feel like she hexed me or some shit. But I used to wear this necklace, the Africa, the Verde, Amarillo, y Rojo, the red, gold, and green on it. So folks saw me and would be like, Rastafari. They would just say that. So I would just do it right back. So everybody, so they thought I was Jamaican in the jail. Yo, the guard comes to my cell with my passport, like, yo, who's the gringo? And he's like flashing it to the cell. So I'm like, oh, they're gonna let me out because I'm American. It's me. I'll go up to the thing. I was like, it's me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just walks away and shit. I turn back around. The whole fucking cell's at me, bro. looking at me.
Oh man.
And then I'm like, nah, see, I was born in the States, but then I moved to Jamaica and I just came up with some, you know, just to get me out of it. You know,
When you're saying your story, I'm imagining two things. I'm imagining Eddie when he went to jail and trading places, and I'm imagining Kid from House Party 1 when he went to jail at the end.
Bro, Kid from House Party. I was more Kid from House Party. Like, yo, the whole time I was thinking too, yo, and I held my cornflakes, bro. Cats tried to press me for my cornflakes. Yo, I left that cell for my cornflakes the next morning. But it was not easy. It was definitely the worst day of my life. And it helped me gain empathy for folks that don't get out the man keeper. Yo, right. I didn't even have 24 hours. I had 12 hours in the man keeper. And that and it wasn't even prison. It was holding cell at the precinct. Right. But the conditions in Panama, like, yo, it was like 110 degrees in the cell. There was shit all over the floor in the cell. There was no phone call. You know, I was thinking like, oh, they're going to give me a phone call. No phone call. They just thought, oh, they asked me, oh, de Estados Unidos? I gave them my passport. They said, tiene plata. You have money? And I said, no. And then they just locked me up because I had no money to give them.
I have a question. Do you remember what color the walls were?
On the inside of the jail. Something faint. Like a gray or something, you know, but I remember it was shit. I remember the shit.
The reason I ask is because I used to hear that in Jamaica, not that you were in Jamaica, but I used to hear in Jamaica the walls inside of the jails are red, and they do that to like make the prisoners crazy. And I never knew if that was like just something I heard.
No, that's probably some real shit, yo. That's probably some real shit. I was in Los Pueblos. I was in that precinct in their holding cell in Los Pueblos, in the area in Panama. That's in the city. It's like different neighborhoods. And I was in the I didn't get transferred to La Jolla. If I did, we wouldn't be on this interview. I don't know of any guys that went in that came out that aren't like, you know, Freddie Fox type. You know what I mean?
Man, oh man.
There was this dude, his name was Puro. And he did 8 years, and he was kin to our kin that was down there. So when we went into the neighborhood of Concepcion, we were looked at as relatives, sobrinos de puro. So we had his respect rolling with us. And I remember he's telling us, "Oh yeah, I did 8 years. It was fine in there." "Oh yeah, for what?" "Oh, murder." "Yeah, people treat you nice." I'm like, "Treat you nice, my friend." You know, and because like in that jail, bro, they got guns in the jail. Freaking the gang control the food. So like you ain't affiliate, you ain't eating. It's just like that. And there was one person we had known who's now out. Her name's Laylee, and she's doing great, man. But had gone through some real stuff, and one of her dudes that went in never came out, man. It's,
man, sorry to hear that.
The men's jail is not to be played with, you know.
Sorry to hear that, man. So moving right along, that's crazy. So you have albums, rainy season, then dry season. Musically, what season is next, and what can we expect from your next project, your next season?
The next project that's coming probably is called Ugly Duck as Fuck.
Tell us about that.
It's just about being, you know, having a jewel, but being in the wrong place. You know, you could be the Muslim, but you're in the synagogue. You could be the Jew, but you're in the masjid. You have to go to where you'll be appreciated. And it's not saying that one's better than the other either, but just going where you'll be appreciated. For example, if you know, let's say we had MF Doom just passed, and we had King Von who just passed, right? And these are two different MCs that have two different demographics that they reach, you know? Right. And to one, you know, they've lost their Christ, and to another, they're like, who's that? You know? Right. Where you are. And just being in places where you'll be appreciated and not the opposite, because that's what sends people off the deep end. That's what gets us depressed. That's what has us feeling like we're worthless, because we're in a place where our worth isn't being valued.
Right. Yeah, that's the jewel. That was one of the first lessons my mom taught me, actually. Go where people want you to be. Don't. If you know that someone doesn't want you around, don't be around there. Like, as simple as that. Yeah, I get it. So, do you write music or draw pictures faster, and why? I think you kind of told me this answer once, but I want the people to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah. Shit, man. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Sometimes I might draw faster than write. I take forever. Even out of Negros Americanos, out of me and Jordan, I'm the one who takes the longest to write something. And a lot of times too, if I'm writing, I'm not drawing. It does happen sometimes where I'm like, yo, I hear a beat, write, and then get off and then draw. But usually it's either or. I think it's like, I don't know, man. It's a spiritual energy thing. Maybe if I'm shooting a fireball, I can't do the flame on my uppercut.
I like that analogy.
Can't. My fireball is like Dan Gadukin.
Yeah.
Even at there are days when I'm like, yo, let me, like, I'm writing to your joint now, and I'm like, this ain't it. I know I have better, and I'm like, nah, I gotta come with it. But then that same night, I'm drawing some shit, and I'm like, man, I put it in the wrong slot. It's kind of like, yeah, go ahead.
I suppose we have times for everything, because to what you're saying, I'm a producer as well, but I don't make beats all the time. It's like either I'm always making beats or I'm always writing, but it's usually never both at the same time. And the same goes with me and like reading books and watching. Either I'm reading 100 books at the same time or no books at all and watching all movies. So I definitely understand what you mean about there's a time and place for everything, I suppose.
A different chamber you get locked into, and then when you catch that inspiration, you're like, yo, let me stick with this so I can flow with it.
Right. Right. These are the facts. I understand. So you are now working on your book, Coloring in Color. Tell us about that and the inspiration behind this.
Oh, snap. Let's see. Do I have one? Bam, bam. Ta-da. Coloring in Color. This is my book right here.
Dope.
And it is a coloring book that is 50 pages, and it's all people of color, every single page. You know what I'm saying? And it's beautiful faces and amazing places. It's printed by Black Classic Press, so it's Black owned book, Black printed book. And Black Classic Press, I chose them because one, I'm a big fan of John Henrik Clarke, and they print his books. And then two, the guy who made it, his name is Damani Coates. Well, actually, Paul Coates. Damani runs the business now, but Paul Coates was the founder, and he was also a member of the Black Panther Party, right? Its heyday, and was a leader in Baltimore. So he founded Black Classic Press as a place where we could press up revolutionary texts, that would not maybe get accepted by the other publishers or put out. Right. It's adding to that legacy. And that's something I'm proud about. Like, it's 100% Black owned. It's Coloring in Color. So it's you're supporting a Black artist, but also a Black owned business that has been producing revolutionary historical texts for the betterment of Black people.
Where can people buy it?
Yes, I'll put that. They could buy it at lyleomolayo.com.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in the chat. www.lyleomolayo.com in the store section. It's on my website. It's child friendly, and again, there are 50 different pages. And what I did too, I'm a big Parliament Funkadelic fan from Plainfield, New Jersey. Also hip hop fan. Ghostface is he's my top 3. So I love Wu-Tang, and what I did was throughout the book, I hid little gems in there, and I put him in there like
Easter eggs.
Yeah, he's in there like Where's Waldo? You know what I mean? So,
Ghost.
Well, Omolayo is.
Okay.
But on the Ghostface tip, on the purple tape, what he say on Criminology? First of all, son, peep the onset. Many call me Doe Snatcher, just a brother for the rapture. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. Let's see. Let me see real quick. I hang glide, holding on strong, hard to capture. You see that?
Yeah, word up, dope. Oh, that's dope.
So they're little joints in there where it's like, okay, okay, that's from that song. So you know, they're little gems hidden within the landscapes.
Dope. I love it. I'm definitely an Easter egg guy. I'm the type of guy who will watch an episode of, let's say, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then hop straight on YouTube and look for all the Easter egg videos, then watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier again. So that's dope that you put some Easter eggs in there. I always love that. I always love surprises, like on things like that, or on albums when someone has a bonus track or just something unexpected, dope and creative. So shout out to you for that. Dope. You created a scholarship for your alma mater, Plainfield High School, called the Imagine Book Scholarship. Please tell us about that.
Yeah, so the Imagine Book Scholarship, it started in like 2006, and it first was just, Imagine is my first album. So my first album, I was like, yo, it's gonna be a fundraiser for the scholarship, right? The freaking album took longer than the scholarship to make, so I had the scholarship before I finished the album. And I used to just, when I was in college, I was on academic scholarship. I was getting scholarships every year. I was applying for them. I figured out the code while in college, to the point that I was like Lauryn Hill, racking up scholarships. I had more liquid assets in college than I do now. And it's freaking nuts thinking about that. But it was like, I started, by the time I figured out, yo, if you're in residence life, they pay for your room and board. If you work for EOF, you get a hookup there. If you're in the TLC program, boom, you get in student government, you get tuition reimbursement. I kind of figured this shit out. I was like, shh. So then, besides, at the time too, when I first came out, I ain't had no girlfriend. So I was chill. I just had a little that bachelor pad, and two, I was saving. So all I cared about was like, Karis One's gonna be at SOBs on the 25th. That's all. I'm going to there.
I'm in there.
Walee's is performing at Rutgers with the Thought Breakers and Silent Night.
I'm in there.
Sadat X is gonna be at Court Tavern. I'm going there. Master Ace going to be at Old Bay. Pace One.
I'm in there.
You see what I'm saying? I cared about that type of stuff in college. So that was, I'm like, I'm gonna go hard in these books and all that. But coming up, I know is this hip hop. So besides that, when my refund check came, I had some extra bread, and I stopped going to church. I was soul searching. I was like, I remember I got so many scholarships. Maybe I should give. If I received so much, maybe I should give. And I went to my guidance counselor at the high school. I said, yo, what does it take to make a scholarship? He said, oh, you just have to submit a curriculum, criteria. I was like what? Oh, just whatever you want to be the ruling for the person to get it. It's like, it could be anything. He's like, yo, they have left-hand scholarships. So I was like, oh, well, it'll be for someone who can use their imagination to better their community.
Right.
That's the criteria, and that was the criteria for the Imagine Book Scholarship. How are you going to use your education and your imagination to better your community? And that's it. It's broad. Everyone has a different plan or idea. It's just as long as like this person at some point will return to the village to help it.
Right.
And that's the criteria. And it started with $100, yo. And then it goes to $1,000, or depending on how much we make that year, it fluctuates, But it started with a very small pot and just a small idea. And it's like Kuji Chakalia, self-determination. Like, no one's gonna save us. We have to kind of like, I had so many Racer X's and Piccolos and Gandalfs and big bros that pulled me along, yo. It's my responsibility to do the same,
Right.
So,
I love that. That's super dope. Yo, I love that. When I read it, I was like, oh shit, that's super dope. This brings me kind of to my next question. What is something about you that people may not know? Like, give me an exclusive that nobody knows.
Let's see. I mean, a lot of folks didn't know I played tennis, but I played tennis. I was in Tennis Weekly. Okay.
Oh, so you was going in.
If you go in tennis, Tennis Weekly, the one that has a sting on Serena or whatever. In 2002, I qualified to be in the Junior Olympics. I was in the Junior Olympics.
Oh, so you was blacking out. It wasn't
out.
just a hobby. It was like what you did.
I coached for 8 years too.
Wow.
So I would be like, yeah, son. Next morning. All right, now follow through on your swing. You know, like.
Yo,
yeah.
Have you ever wrote a song or did any art based on tennis? You should if you haven't.
I've mentioned tennis language in rap, but haven't gone all out. But I think I need to, like how Wu-Tang had Soul in the Hole. You do, because you know what we're probably missing is that, maybe not we're missing, but there's probably millions of hip hop tennis players that would love that shit. Because no one probably ever represented for them before. Facts, yo. Facts. Because I would listen to crunk music when I played tennis. Bone Crusher? Bro,
imagine if you had a song about tennis. Like an ill song about tennis. Yeah. Yo, you might need to get on that.
Facts, yo. Because when Luke did Kick Push, yo, that was like...
Yeah.
Represented like that in hip-hop before. You're right. You're
when
right.
You do it at Serena, at Venus, at... The two new young, what's her name? Osaka,
yo, he's dating. What's his name? YBN. He's probably doing this right now, yo. He's probably on it right now.
Yeah, if I was him, I would definitely learn how to play tennis from her.
Yo, and for a video. Remember when I think it was Memphis Bleak and Jay-Z, "Do My Ladies Run This Month"?
Yeah.
They were playing tennis against Serena in that video.
You're right.
Use that as a thing because people are like, man, you soft as hell playing. I was like, nah, man, look, Jay-Z playing.
Keep that one stashed in your back pocket.
Yeah. Like, you know, because at the same time, yo, 50 Cent had that freestyle. I was on the block, he was playing tennis. You know what I'm saying? It was just hard. It's hard to tell cats, yeah, I rap. They're like, nigga, you play tennis. Get your ass out.
I dig it because although football, aka soccer in America, is the biggest sport on planet Earth, in America it's not. So when I came here from England to America and I was playing soccer, my they're my friends now, but at the time they just had jokes like, yo, this foot fairy. I'm like, what?
Fairy, that's freaking nuts. It's the hardest sport in the freaking world. In the
facts
world.
On facts.
Yo, I think this too. I have this conspiracy theory about why Americans are so stupid versus other people in other parts of the world. I think, yo, soccer being the biggest sport in the world, like when you just said England, it'll be like England versus Switzerland or freaking, you know, Ghana's going against Brazil. So you're automatically putting yourself on the world map as a player versus domestically. Here it's just American football. Yeah, Cleveland is going against New York. So it's all domestic. That's all we end up caring about. Because I teach ESL students, and they're from China, they're from Brazil, El Salvador, and yo, they're just knowledge of other countries outside of their own is so much vaster.
No doubt. I found that when I started visiting other countries and started asking them questions, and they like knew about our shit, they knew about their shit. I was like, holy shit, you ask someone from Jersey about this shit, they'd be like, what? We don't know nothing about anything besides New Brunswick and New York and Philadelphia.
And kind of take pride in that. Like, I don't know that shit, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Let me
crazy
ask,
motherfuckers. Sure.
Like the average person, just in a general sense, how many languages do they speak? Or have interest in speaking, you know?
You're asking me like from a different country?
Yeah.
2 or 3 at least.
But they're an adult. They have they're able to at least 2 or 3 to communicate.
Yeah. Yeah. When I used to go to not that it was that long ago, but when I was touring, I was usually the only person who knew one language. I was like,
being over here though, because if you were over there, that's the norm, right?
Yeah. Like in Sweden, they get taught English from jump early. early, like in school. So, you know, here when we get to like 7th, 8th grade, we can take French, Spanish, German, or whatever. But them from jump, the only place that wasn't like that, when I was just telling someone yesterday, when I went to France for the first time on the tour, their second language is not English. So I remember how I left my toothbrush like in a different country, and I got to France, and I was like, yo, I need a toothbrush. And my man was like, yo, just go downstairs to the store. Yo, it took me like 2 hours to be like, toothbrush. He was like, and then finally I got a toothbrush. But France is not the country to get lost in because, you know, I'm not that they don't speak English, but it's just not the second language. You might get caught somewhere where they don't speak English. So yeah, let me see where we at. I kind of skipped some questions because we kind of got into some things already. But we kind of come to the easy part of the interview towards the end. We've been talking for a while, and that's a good thing. So these ones, you can give quick answers or you can give lengthy answers, but it's kind of a quick thing. So here we go. Bruce Lee or Jet Li?
Oh, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee.
DC or Marvel?
Marvel. Yeah. Damn, I like Batman though. I feel like I just threw Batman away. And he's enough to just go with DC.
Did you know they're creating a black Batman?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
How they not gonna audit him? How is he gonna hire him? What's it got to do to make $500,000 without the FBI catching feelings? Wow. Also being a vigilante. You know what I mean? We'll see.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see that shit.
He'll get pulled over.
Mm-hmm. Oh my days. Oh my days. That shit is so funny.
You think he could Commissioner Gordon as a black?
Oh man, yo, you too much right now.
Like, you think that could? It don't work the same for us, yo. Certain stuff we can't get off. We can't run outside.
Yo, did you? Let me ask you something. Have you been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or are you into that?
I need to catch up. I haven't though. I just finished WandaVision.
So I was gonna say something. I won't say it. I don't want to ruin the shit. Not that it's in comics, so I won't say it. Anyhow,
definitely.
Attack on Titan or One Piece?
You know what? Attack on Titan. I'm sad to say this. A dude like in a hookah bar a couple weeks ago told me, yo, get into One Piece. And to me, yo, this shit got 1,000 episodes. I just looking at it, I'm like, yo,
It's intimidating.
I'm not even gonna catch up for like 3-4 years, 5 years even. If I watch even one a day, it's 60 episodes to a season. So that I haven't started, you know. Maybe in 10 years I'll tell you how that was. But one Attack on Titan I freaking love, man. I love that series. I love the relationship right now between Levi and Zeke. I love how twisted that relationship is. And I like just how unpredictable it is, how like main characters are being murked out and they're humanizing people now, the Marlians versus the Eldians. And this last season is deep. It's deep. It's real deep. I love it. I love Attack on Titan.
All right. Air or water?
You know what? You need air. I'm an air sign, Libra.
Okay.
But I like water. That's all I drink. But oxygen, man. I'll say I'll take my air. I'll fly before I go underwater.
Dope. All right, and then lastly, is there anything you want people to know that we haven't discussed, or anything you want to promote you have coming up? Anything?
Right now, my most important project that I probably put out or have been working on is a coloring book, man. This is something that's fed me in a way that is just different than rap too. You know, It's just a different thing. Just like getting back to the art. So I've been jumping into the visual art world way more and promote my comic that's coming. Life of Lyle Omolayo. So that's kind of where my head is at. And I have more music coming. There's definitely going to be a follow-up to the second part of dry season, because there's desert and dessert, right? So desert, I'm just complaining about not being able to get any chicks in Panama and beyond, perhaps. But dessert, I'm talking about, okay, now I've got somebody or two or three. Yeah. But now I'm dealing with all types of Indiana Jones type shit that I never would have thought I would have dealt with, you know? Like, yo, for every olive oil, there's a Bluto that's just hanging around. And
oh my days, I understand.
You know, like,
I understand.
You know, I just never thought. I'm like, it was like this. I graduated from college. I started working at Yale. The next year, I'm sleeping with a machete in Panama. Because an insecure husband had threatened my life before that. You know, it's like, you know.
Oh, man.
Pretty problems. Stay away from me, you know?
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, you know.
Jealousy's a motherfucker.
Yo, man. And I was very naive too, because I was sheltered in a relationship sense. I was with the same person for 4.5, 5 years. So I didn't understand that people be cheating, people be lying about their shit, people be doing all types of, you know, creeping on there. So I just was like, oh, honesty's the best policy. Oh, I'm single. I'm just gonna be honest. They're single. They're gonna tell me. No, these motherfuckers be married, got a fiance, and I'm out on a date like this. Then some dude runs up on me. Like, I felt like DMX and How's It Going Down, yo.
Word? I like, this is something that actually happened?
Let that nigga play daddy make moves with me.
I gotta ask, what happened? Y'all were at dinner and then dude was like, yo, that's my wife. Something like, what happened?
All right, so long story short, we had a singer that we were eyeing for Negros Americanos. A friend of mine who was a DJ knew of her. So when I checked her out on social media, she was super, super bad. But then I checked and said, married. So I'm like, yeah, okay, pump the brakes. That's it, right? That's it. So I invited her to a show. I said, hey, look, Negro's going to be performing at La Casona at this club this night. If you want to come check us out, we're looking for, you know, Afro-Latino singers, artists to build with. She said, cool, I'll be there. That night, her husband showed up before her. Now, I already looked to see how her husband looked. You know, I know what the dude was. And the guy that was with him knew us from another show. So we pulled up to the venue, me and Bishop, he was out there, and a dude named Pocho, POC, was the third member of Negros Americanos there. Hopped out the car, and then, you know, old girl's husband hopped out behind us. And I met him before I met her. So when I initially met him, I shook his hand. Hey, my name's Lyle. Da, da, da. He's like, he gave me the most weakest handshake known to man. You know what I mean? And he went me in the face. So I'm like, okay, clearly he knows something I don't. Well, whatever. Cool. We go into the club. We set up with the DJ, and we're just waiting around. But I don't see old girl. And randomly, you know, the husband says, he comes up to me and is like, hey, let's take a walk. I need to talk to you. And then I'm like, okay. So on the way out, you know, me and Bishop, we have a way of communicating when there might be a particular danger or peril ahead. Yeah. I gave him the sign, you know, I'm going to take a walk with these guys, you know. Yeah. And he said, okay. And him and Pocho trailed us. They walked me down this alley. Now, the alleyway did have an exit that did lead to another group of clubs. But I didn't know that. It was a dark ass alley. This is my first time over there. He's like, yo, we're walking. He says, yo, let's cut this way. And he takes me down this alley. Now his boy is with him and he keeps saying, yo, man, he's just a kid. He's just a kid. And I'm like, what do you mean just a kid? He's like, bro, you're like, how old are you? I'm like, 22. He's like, bro, look, he's just a kid. Just leave him alone. And the guy keeps looking left and looking right while he's I'm like, what do you mean just a kid? Right. So Jordan and Bishop and Pocho, who were trailing me, they just yelled at the foot of the alley, yo, you good? And then I was like, guys, we good here? He's like, good. And I got out of that situation. That was the first interaction I had with him. And when I get back to the club after leaving the alleyway, that's when the wife pulls up. and the wife is giving me the vibe. She's giving me the signals. Now, mention this is during my dry season, so I hadn't had any intimacy in quite some time, if you know what I mean. I was starved.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful women imaginable that I've come across in my life. They're just fucking everywhere and beautiful. So she's giving me the vibes, but I just met her dude that just kind of tried to walk me down the alley. So I'm just kind of like,
he's looking for the rah-rah.
He's with the rah-rah, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to catch that ruckus. So you know, I don't get at her, you know, and purposely keep my distance, but he doesn't think so. And come later, down the line, she starts performing with Negros Americanos. You could tell he doesn't like that. And he came to my job and threatened me.
Damn, brother came to your job?
I used to work at a spot in Panama called Berlitz, and he came to my job and he said, "Artista," pointed his finger like a gun at me, and went like standing across the street from me. So
wow,
that was when I was leaving work. So he knew where I worked at. And it made things a little tense and uncomfortable for me during a short period.
I'm sure. And
I had to explain to you know, old girl that was working with us at the time. I said, "Yo, I'm funny, but I'm no joke. This stupid idiot threatened my life and then walked away."
Right.
And just in terms of strategy and war.
Yeah, not the brightest move.
We're not in Dragon Ball Z. Like, if I'm sitting here and I'm coming at Cymar and I'm like, May.
Yeah.
By the time I get to May, you already done.
Yeah.
You
facts on facts on facts.
Why am I gonna, special beam cannon? I'm gonna announce my attack to
right.
you and then wait for your ass to sit there and wait. So I literally had to, I ain't even with that. We gonna have to get that. That's a GP. Try to keep me, what?
Yeah.
That's your kid's daddy. I just want to send him on his way. Have him up in that big guy. I had to have that type of conversation. So it was nuts ever thinking that I went from like wanting to get married a year before with my Ethiopian queen to now being like, nah, if he come at me, I'm shanking this dude. I just never, that's not me. And that also, in retrospect, what the fuck was I thinking? Now, I was ready to lay it all on the line.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, stupid, not worth it. So you live and you learn. But those stories are going to be told. I haven't released those things too because the situation was volatile, man. It was
right.
It was, man, like it could have got ugly. Luckily, it didn't. But it definitely had the potential to staining one of our hands permanently.
Yeah, forever. Could have changed everyone's life forever.
Forever.
Madness.
So I'm glad
you were able to get out of that.
Yeah, man. And then like what was so ill, just like in retrospect, you think like, I'm not even with this person. I was willing to do all these things. Long term, we weren't compatible. But when you're in love and you're in the dry season,
you don't see it.
The oasis. I could pass you. C-Ray's Walls had a line. He said, "I'll leave you in the desert with a bottle of piss." And I'm like, damn, After a while, you start to look at that bottle like, you get thirsty, Where
I understand.
Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't drink. But shit, man.
I get it. Yo, thank you for sharing that story. That was definitely an exclusive story.
Better judgment, man. Yeah, so that was, I almost stained my hands, man, but didn't. Nobody around me did, and nobody around me cut your body like that. I didn't turn into Drake. I would have been, I would have been straight Drake. If you met me, I would have had like one of them. Probably I would have turned into Drake, That's
oh man, that's fucking funny.
I think Drake is mafioso, low key. Like I think that motherfucker is crazy. Like nah. I'm telling you, it beat them dudes, man. I think by now on some Walking Dead shit, he's lived longer. He's survived enough shit. I think all these guys in the industry, like if you notice Wale was one of my favorite cats when he was first coming up. Notice the gangsterization of Wale, but I think it's by experience. You get around enough guys constantly testing you got to bring that rah-rah. You're about peace. You're about unity. Then Cats be like, man, he's soft. And then now you're forced into some shit. And it's like, man.
You're totally right.
You know?
You're 100% right. Oh man, how many people's lives have got messed up because they were forced into beef that they didn't want to get into? And then they had to defend themselves, or they had to show so and so they weren't. Bitch.
Yeah, but yo, that shit, it's something like, I feel, you remember 1, 2, 3 is kind of dangerous to be an MC.
Mm-hmm.
You're a warrior of the light. You're standing for truth. You're standing for justice. You're telling a real story, you know? And sometimes your adversaries are in your own community.
Right.
They look like you and they want to press you.
Right.
They ain't gonna press the man that's pressing them.
Right.
But they're like, man, let me disturb this motherfucker's happiness. Let me just peace for a while.
Because they see something in you that they want for themselves, and if they can't have it, they don't want you to have it.
Yeah, but they can't have it. That's the ill shit.
They can have it.
Yo, bro, how'd you get there? You know? But it's like, so
I get it.
It's like it forces us to have that bravado. I remember, I'm gonna say this. You spoke on it earlier. The edge that you've acquired because of, like we said, your mom was like, "Yo, you become a hard individual. You've had to."
Yeah.
So society has made you have to be that man.
Quite literally, because it's like if you don't look someone in the eye like you're not fucking around or like you're not serious, they will try you. And I mean anybody. I could be a cashier at Target. You know what I'm saying? Or in the hood, in the bricks or whatever. If you don't present yourself like you are aware of yourself and you understand, people will most definitely try you. And it came to a point in my life where this shit kept happening. I heard Dave Chappelle say it once, and Dave Chappelle is a Virgo like me, and it made so much sense. He said he is not naturally assertive. I am not naturally assertive. I do not want to be. I want to be like in my own head, like not really paying, like I'm in my head. But life made him be naturally, or not naturally, made him be assertive. And when we are assertive, there's no more person more assertive than us, and we have to kind of like look you in your eye and be straight and like, but that shit is not natural to us. But it's like if we didn't do these things, people would definitely be trying us.
Yeah.
Even in hip hop, I always tell people I started gaining some success in hip hop when I started looking at people in their eyes like I know I'm fucking nice. Like it's not I'm not looking for your praise, or I'm not looking for you to validate me. When I started in layman's terms, when I got on my own dick, that's when shit started happening. And it took for people to see me come in like, but it's like, and I didn't want to be like that though. I just wanted to come and be nice and rock the mic, but it's like if I wasn't letting people know I knew what it is, they weren't gonna tell me. So yeah,
me,
life.
Rapper, I'm an MC. The two mic flow, bro. I'm just as a fan. Let me tell you. So, seeing you rock, not with one mic, but with two mics. Boom. That's different. The ferocity behind the attack in your voice. Boom. That to captivate the crowd, to move the crowd. Boom. That's different. When you played the Red Army, come on. How could I, as an aspiring MC, hear that and not go back to the drawing board? When Silent I said, talking about you so sincere, when the only time you ever rocked the show is this year, maybe the only time I ever rocked the show was that year. It's under my belt. Real talk. Certain rappers, you guys, I'm gonna tell you, my cultivation, my chrysalis, before I became a butterfly, my caterpillar, I'm absorbing this music. I'm absorbing these OGs. I'm absorbing these big brothers who have put in work, who have laid a foundation, shown me, yo, you can be yourself.
Right.
This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm seeing. When you said I'm not a rapper, I'm an MC. For me, I was MC Enigma. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
This is someone who champions owning, rocking the crowd, not just representing commercial success or, this this rippity rap on a mainstream level. No,
Right.
I'm a purveyor of the culture. And like you said that with a period at the end, meant it. And you traveled the world spreading that message. As a younger brother, seeing that, I was like, it's possible. It's possible. I go to your show, I'm seeing Ty Phoenix now. I'm seeing Hassan Salam now. I'm like, holy shit. This is the next wing of the underground Illuminati. The tears are moving up in the masonry. You know? It's like, oh snap. The samurais, they respect each other. Like, your way of kung fu is different from their way, but you've mastered your dojo and they've mastered their dojo, and you guys are like chieftains meeting on some like hip hop United Nations. And I'm seeing this as an impressionable, you know, student. And you can't, to me, I'm saying for me, I can't like be around this, experience this, then come out with some bullshit.
I understand.
How can I, if I have nothing to offer that hasn't been done as good or comparable or even doing, you know, that's not authentic to me. Yeah. Like, yo, these cats really do it. I can't play with that. I can't say I do the same thing as if I'm not willing to put the work in, if I'm not willing to show and prove. I remember rolling with Hassan to different stuff. He'd be like, yo, tell him UMC Enigma. I'm like, nah, bro, you got an album. I ain't got no shit. I'm like, yo, what if they ask me to freestyle? Nah, you got this. Like, yo, let me tell you crazy shit. Majesty from EO Dub, before he passed, he wanted to book me, and before Pumpkinhead passed, he wanted to book me in one of those EO Dub challenges against Pumpkinhead and Zeps. My first EO Dub challenge. Oh, he was wilding out. I'm super flattered that you think for a second that I could even be mentioned among these guys. But I said, yo, that's a sniper KO. That's a technical knockout. That's a one round knockout.
That was Majesty who tried to put you in that?
Majesty tried to, you ready for you? I'm ready for Pumpkinhead and Zeps. Get the fuck out of it. I'm not ready.
Rest in peace to that brother, man. He put you in there with Pete.
Yeah. Yo, he was trying to encourage me, but it's like your first type fight with Mike Tyson or something, and you know I'm in the gym doing a scrimmage, like, yo, come on, dog. I knew I would get murdered, and two, that's not my strength either. It's just not my strength.
Everyone has their own strengths. It's all good.
I was like, that would be a total slaughter, but I respect the belief in me, but let's not get it twisted. Like, I know where I fall on the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
maybe he saw something in you that you didn't see yourself.
Perhaps, and maybe one day I'll get there. But there are a lot of dudes that I love and that I respect that are on those things. You know, Nasir Osiris Anthem. You know, Elijah Black, Baxter Words. I got Baxter. He's on the next Dry Season coming out. Nice. He's on a song called Nerd Girl, where it's fun, man. It's a fun record.
Yeah, man, it's not over till it's over.
It ain't over till it's over. But but just with all due respect, seeing certain guys rip it and rock it lets me know, like, all right, if I am gonna be a contributor, I gotta put in that work before I even think I could hold the title or could come in and you know. And it's just with all due respect for the titles, for the forefathers, for the cats that showed me the way. I feel like I'm not willing to do them push-ups and go hard and be training. I can't call myself one of them fighters, you know? Because the EO Dub is just a different level.
Yeah, shout out to EO Dub. Still doing it, even in the pandemic. Crazy.
Straight up. Yo, Silent Night, I gotta say too, the dojo, freaking the lineup, that was the Negros Americanos dojo. The lineup was, and I remember it was always lyrical graffiti. But then once SK started doing the dojo with Fuse and the Grizzly Pear before it went to the Sidewalk Cafe, that was like a mandatory thing with us, with me and Jordan, with Negros. where he's like, yo, we just always gonna be at the dojo. That's where we're gonna sharpen our skills.
Uh-huh.
That's what's gonna be around. And we get to be around some of the dopest MCs in the tri-state area.
Facts on facts.
You know, his respect is it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
And like, look, I met you through him. You know what I'm saying? He even in his circumference, his hoverer, he's a galvanizer. And
yeah, for sure.
Nobody that rock with him is nobody that's whack. They're all good MCs, good artists, and good people.
Right. This is
like,
true.
You know, it was the lineup, those ciphers, man, they were just so, it was always love. It was love. And that was what was crazy too. It was a love cipher. It wasn't a I'm better than this guy cipher. It was it was some real hip hop shit, yo.
I get it.
Oh, Grizzly Pear, rocking with Fuse, passing the mic. I miss that shit, bro.
Yo, so I wonder if these cats today have anything like that. I don't think they do, and I think they're missing out.
They probably got TikTok. Maybe half the screen is like this.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, every night I went to bed, and every night I sent her, she didn't send back. You know, like, like it's probably some shit like that right now. You know,
generation is crazy, man. I'm gonna try to do my best to keep up. I'm gonna try to be like who's someone that lasted mad long in the game and is still relevant? Snoop, Jay-Z, LL Cool J.
Yeah, LL, he's many eras. They call him Big LA.
I'm gonna try to do my best to not be old and like lose track of the times, or I mean everyone gets old, but I just mean like aging gracefully and understanding when to stop, because a lot of times cats don't know when to stop. They don't know when it is over.
Though I feel like this though, lucky for you, your truth in your hip hop is truth and it's timeless. I don't see rap persona. I see MC. I don't see rap persona. I hear real stories. I learned about you as a father. I learned about you as a member of the community. I learned about you as a storyteller, telling stories where you can hop outside yourself, personify hip hop, go through, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have so much range as a writer that, in my opinion, your truth is timeless. So
Thank you, brother.
When 50 years from now, the music is timeless because it's your own truth, you know? So that, like we said, right now that all this stuff is coming back around full circle, folks are also gonna say, yo, who was out earlier doing this? Who was killing this during this time? And when this book of hip hop is written, you're definitely in it. You know what I'm saying? You've etched yourself in the timeline of human history, you know, as a contributor to the culture and as a continuous contributor, you know. So it has to be said, man. It has to be said.
Thank you, brother. I truly appreciate that.
Definitely.
I truly appreciate that. Shit. On that note, I think we should end. Now, peace to Lyle Omolayo. You wouldn't have been on here if I didn't respect you. Like you're dope. You're a dope illustrator. You're a dope MC. You're a dope person.
Appreciate you so much, man. And I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity, straight up and down, and for never giving up, man. Because I was watching you the whole time.
Thank you, brother.
And because you ain't, I won't. Straight up.
Good. I love that. So, yo, big shout out to the brother Lyle Omolayo. Yeah, you've also made history today. Today is the longest show I've ever done. Nah, it's dope. It's super dope. So usually I get into news at the end of the day, but I don't have any great news. So, all right, I will say a couple things. The things I have on here, I just run through them quickly. One, obviously, man, shout out to DMX brothers in the hospital still. Devastating. X is talking about high energy and like passion, and X is like up there with Busta Rhymes and the greatest. I saw X perform live one time, and I don't want to say who he was on the bill with, but he bodied everybody. And then after he finished bodying everybody on the set, and there are only big dogs on like, it was one of the biggest concerts I've been to. After he finished screaming on everyone, he was like, "Yo, turn the beat off!" And he killed a poem, like a poem, straight from the heart, like on some spoken word shit. And I was like, I'm ready to go home. He's way nicer than I ever thought. So shout out to DMX. I hope you pull through this, brother. I hope you pull through this.
God bless DMX. You know what? Hassan told me back in the day he had a book, Earl, that was really I gotta read his
he had autobiography?
I think so. It's called like Earl, I think.
I'm on top of that.
Yeah.
I love me some autobiographies, and I don't have his.
Did you see his interview on People's Party?
Nah, how was it? It was dope.
He told this story about how he got tricked into smoking crack as a kid, and that's what started his addiction.
I seen that clip somewhere. I didn't click on it, but I saw that headline somewhere recently.
It was from that interview, and like some super fucked up shit, man. You feel bad for him as a victim. You know what I'm saying? As someone who was he was the drifter. You know, when Tretch talk about the drifter and everything's gonna be all right, he was the drifter. He was that kid drifting.
I don't know what, I'm gonna watch that interview. I don't know what his story is, but I know one time, I was rolling up, burning whatever, and I was in a cypher, and I was just about to hit this L, and someone said, who wasn't even talking to me, that's laced with coke or LSD or some shit, and I was like this, yo! And for the whole rest of the day, the person who had laced it, me and him beefed for like that day and for like 2 weeks longer, because I was just like, yo, everyone don't fucking do that shit. Suppose I took that shit and like got addicted to it, or so I don't know how he got tricked, but I almost I didn't know.
Shit, slipped to a Mickey.
Yeah.
You know? And then they say, I mean, depending on what it is, it could be one time.
Yo, and that's why I always tell people I've never done any other drugs besides, I don't even call marijuana drugs, but I've never done that in this shit because, I'm shook, dog. I be hearing, just like you're about to say, you might take one pull, you might take one pill and never recover. After I heard shit like that, I'm like, I'm not doing none of that shit. None of it. I'm not sniffing nothing. Give me the green.
That was some shit, yo. I used to work at Yale. Everybody up there's on that nose candy, bro. And that shit was like, yo, it's freaking crazy with stereotypes and all this shit. Mm-hmm. They're thinking we're the drug dealers, the users.
Yeah.
When I went to Yale, hey, you're a little early today.
Oh, you mean like the professors and shit, the teachers?
Yes, the professors, the admin, the students. Yeah, a lot of nose candy at that university.
Nah, I believe it. You know what? And I'm sure it's not only Yale, because I think all the time with all these teachers home, I know somebody's day drinking. I know somebody's sniffing and getting on these Zoom meetings. I know they are. Facts on facts.
I've got hay fever, winter allergies.
Yeah.
Open up books.
Facts. People stressed out during the pandemic getting they sniff on. Not I, said the fly. So moving right along, I didn't even see this, but yesterday was the Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind and Fire versus. Did you catch it?
Not really, no. I saw a snippet, but then I got back to whatever else. I was drawing and stuff.
I didn't even watch it. I didn't want to front like that was my wave. I mean, I'll probably like a few songs here and there, but
I love both of them, to be honest. Voyage to Atlantis. I put on Isley's when I'm with you, girl, you know what I mean? Voyage to Atlantis, you know what I'm saying? Got some smooth joints between the sheets. And Earth, Wind and Fire. It reminds me of my mom. Makes me want to straighten up the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can dig it.
Food. But Ray and Ghost, that was my verses.
Oh yeah, I was on that. I watched that one. That was probably my favorite. No, Bounty Killer versus Beanie Man was my favorite. But my second favorite was Ghost and Ray.
Super and then dope. Third favorite,
My third favorite had to be Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, only because it was one of the beginning ones, and I just felt like I'm into imagery, and I don't think anything is by mistake. So when I saw, did you watch that one?
Yeah, she had the kung fu.
Yeah, like yo, Erica's taking shots. I don't know if anyone else sees this, but to me, Erykah is saying, "This is what I'm doing to you, Jill Scott."
Yeah,
and she didn't have to say it, but I was like, "Oh, you're on it like that."
Yeah.
So I just thought that.
And Erykah Badu's an MC that sings.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. She's an MC that sings, man.
She was like, "I'm gonna be Bruce and whoop your ass," and she didn't say it, but I was just like, "I know."
You think she got off the phone with Dead Prez before? She was like, she was doing the People's Army.
She looked like it. She looked like it. Yeah, so that was my third favorite. What about you? What was your?
I like the DMX and Snoop Dogg one, just because it was like dog and dog, and it was seeing West Coast and East Coast and kind of two generations show love to each other. That I like that DMX. If they do a Red and Meth, that's probably gonna be my favorite.
Oh, they're doing that April 20th.
420.
420.
Know what I'm doing?
No. What else I got? 4 people have been chosen to orbit Earth in the first ever all-civilian space mission. I don't know how I feel about that.
Wow.
Orbit Earth in the first all-civilian space mission. You know what? Let me lump this together with another headline I got. Famed physicist Michio Kaku is soon to launch his telescope that he says will certainly find alien life. But he also goes on to say, when this telescope finds alien life, we should leave them alone.
Like, there's lions in the cage. I'm gonna go into the cage to definitely disturb the lions, but they should not be disturbed. We should just leave them alone.
Right, and then on the same thing, now we're orbiting space and sending civilians. So it's like these aliens is like, word, y'all want beat now.
them first 4 is probably gonna be the sampler dish.
Them first 4 is gonna be the fucking Fantastic Four is what they gonna turn into. Word up.
There's definitely something going on right now. There's a lot of folks on aliens too. I saw a commercial, alien tape. Why are they calling it alien tape? It can stick to any surface. It's stronger than anything. Just the language.
They have that computer company, I think it's called Alienware. I don't know if you ever heard that. They're like MacBook Pro, Microsoft, and Alienware, and it's like they've made it so dope that it's like an alien fucking built it. I think that company came out a few years ago. It's new, kind of like how Tesla was on the scene. It was like we just started seeing Teslas. I think Alienware is about to be more and more visible. Another thing I saw is that tropical cyclone forms, flash floods, and landslides kill at least 50 people in Indonesia. The world is definitely going through things right now on multiple levels. I don't know if the universal gods is upset. They might be because earthlings be tripping.
You think the 4 horsemen is coming right now?
The what?
The 4 horsemen.
Oh, I think that it might get worse before it gets better. I think it's going to get better, but I think we might have to go through a breaking down period for us to build up.
Yeah.
I feel like something's definitely going on, man. And I'm really skeptical. I'm like, I don't know if you ever seen that movie Conspiracy Brother. But I feel like Conspiracy Brother, man.
Undercover Brother?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, and on Undercover Brother, there was Conspiracy Brother.
Your Dave Chappelle.
That's why I feel like every day.
Yeah.
Like something's going on. I'm finding it hard to trust. I mean, it's not like it's new, but I just don't trust a lot of things.
Yeah. Something evil is afoot that I think in, however many years, once we're past it, they'll be like, yo, once upon a time, such and such did experiments on humans, and look at what they did to populations.
Right.
So, I think our suspicion is logical, and his history has given us enough information to be suspicious,
right,
and to not trust, right. And for that suspicion and trust to be usurped, even by crisis, even by pandemic, we still go err on the side of wait a sec. I wasn't prioritized before. Now you're prioritizing my community.
Right.
You're saying they get the first dosage. You take it. You take it first.
Right.
Okay. Are you okay? Okay. Then maybe. It's funny too with everyone saying, "Oh, why? Because of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment." Well, yes, motherfucker. Yes,
and 100 million other things.
Yeah, that's the one that we know about. It's like saying, "Well, if you think MK Ultra, yes, that's the one we found out about." What about the shit we don't know about?
Right.
That we know is definitely happening, and there's enough evidence. We could Harriet A. Washington, medical apartheid. We just crack the book open, go to any chapter, and we can see where Black and brown people have been the petri dish for modern medicine's experimentation, or sadistic mutilation, even,
right,
or for culling, lessening populations. They had this process they were doing called, I think, tubal ligation, and this was in Peru. And they were doing this in the Andes with indigenous populations. And they were saying, oh, you're going in for a measles, MMR, measles, mumps. There's an outbreak and we're going to help the indigenous population. Those women who were getting injected were coming out sterile for some reason.
Wow.
All babies were being born dead.
Wow.
And now they just reduced an indigenous population. It's no difference than syphilis. Than the smallpox blankets. I look at it, the methods have changed. Maybe they come under the guise of medicine or missionary.
Right.
But that same, manifest destiny, nature, threat agenda is being played out. It's nuts. My brother, he's in Brazil. He's in Sao Paulo. And one thing that's really happening, that's really jacking up the world, we're talking about global warming and stuff. In Brazil, the beef industry is cutting down the Amazon to just expand the beef industry, to sell more beef and cows.
That is crazy.
And in doing so, they're also assassinating indigenous leaders that are making sure that the Amazon stays preserved. So greed, man, love for money,
right,
is like they'll destroy this planet, just to have a bigger piece of meat on their table. This is nuts.
So I don't know. I don't see how the universal gods are not looking down on this shit and we're gonna have to do something about this. But I don't know, dog, because I always feel like there are intricacies that we'll never know about. There are loopholes as far as the universe goes that we'll never know about. Because some shit, dog, I just still don't understand. How do people who are fucked up people continue to prosper on some simple shit? So I feel like I was talking about this yesterday with my mom. There has to be things that we don't understand. I almost think that our past life karmas have a lot to do with this life. So if we try to understand this life just based on this life, it's going to be hard because I feel like we might go through things based on other lives. I mean, it's the only way I can try to understand it, because it's like someone being healthy their whole life and then getting cancer out of nowhere. Or someone working hard as fuck on their craft for mad long and being excellent at it and putting all the right energy into it, but then not getting to where they probably should deserve to get. But then you looking and you seeing some 18-year-old goofball who can barely do what they're doing, and they have 30 million.
Where's the balance?
So when I think about it like that, it's probably best for me to like not try to figure out the universe. The universe. I mean, I believe in certain universal laws, a lot of universal laws, but it's just like I do feel like there's a bigger picture maybe we were not supposed to understand. Because if we understood it all, why the hell would we be here?
Facts.
So on that note, I think I'm gonna close out the show. Yo, my brother, how long we been on here for? Damn, 2 hours. I love it. So this show is, on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on all the main podcast things. So I used to think, when I first started doing the show, I think this is episode number 59, I used to like look at the YouTube views and be like, damn, no one's listening. And then how I upload it to the internet is through something called Podbean. They recently came out with all these analytics, so you can see like who's downloading your show from what platform. Brother, we got listeners. Way more listeners than I thought. And I was like, oh, snap. Like a lot of people listen on Apple and Spotify, way more than YouTube. I don't know why that is, but whatever. But people are going to hear this dope-ass interview, so I want you to know. And they can find the brother at lyleomolayo.com. I did put that in the chat window, and I'll spell it out. LYLEOMOLAYO.com. Check this brother out. He is super dope on many levels. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my brother, you got anything else you want to tell the people before I close us out?
Shit once, flush twice.
I love it.
Spread love, baby. That's it. Yo, leave with love.
Spread love. My name is Cymarshall Law. You enjoy the show, subscribe, share, whatever, download. He is Lyle Omolayo. Peace, love, and positive energy. And y'all have a great day. Bless.
Peace.
And we out.
Respect, brother.
Respect. Oh. Let me end out with a song. Let's go. Shout out to Cool Kim. Cool Kim, Haj G.
Castle on the bloodline is surely like this. Approaching of a UMC is purely hypeness. So I mention it again and again. It's not necessary. Those who comprehend my message very clearly, but not along the way of translucent. Throw your hands up for the man's up who sit. Invaders on my fruit basket to a casket, meaning done away. See the flocks run away. So as a UMC, I ask myself, who could be the leaders, resembling the stars out of fall? Well, it's you, Haj G. And as I find the coolness in me, at a whim, who would freeze blue cheese? Spin a 360 on a runway stop, and hear many more than just one set. UNIDRSAL. Go on, cause we gave them more.